with a look inside the country's fentanyl crisis, specifically in American teens. Hundreds have already died from drug overdoses this year, some even on school campuses.
Now there's a push to get more schools stocked with the life-saving medication Narcan. ABC's Devin Dwyer has more on that.
So this is our clinic.
Nurse Dawn Baker's high school clinic is fully stocked to treat cuts and bruises, headaches, even pregnancies.
So where do you keep the Narcan?
Narcan is up in the corner, up on my little shoe carrier.
And now by the door, next to the epinephrine, a standard supply of the overdose drug Narcan, or naloxone. Easy to grab if she needs to save a life in an instant.
I have 5 doses because one of the doses we used for the overdose.
Just 2 weeks after the school began stocking Narcan last year, Nurse Baker was called to a classroom where a 16-year-old girl was unresponsive.
I walked in there and they were in the process of going from chair to floor with the student.
Would she have survived if you didn't have naloxone?
I don't think so.
Hays County Public Schools, just outside Austin, has used Narcan 6 times since they began to stock the opioid-reversing drug in schools. 5 students have died off campus in the past year. The drug-related deaths have so alarmed officials that they've produced videos of grieving parents to show students.
He would have been a senior this year. He looked like he was asleep.
The faces of the dead also appear on a billboard nearby.
We are being impacted hard. I think what we're doing differently is we're hitting it head on.
According to the CDC, illicit drug use among teens nationwide has been on the decline, but overdose deaths, some of them on school property, have been soaring.
We're seeing a significant number of kids getting access to highly lethal drugs that are ultimately leading to an increase in deaths.
Between 2010 and 2019, around 500 U.S. teenagers died each year from a drug overdose, according to government data. But in 2020, the number nearly doubled, 954 deaths. And in 2021, more than 1,100.
We know that there's plenty of fentanyl on the market that is tainting products that people really otherwise wouldn't know is in there.
The trend has alarmed the National Association of School Nurses, which now encourages schools to stock up on naloxone.
Why don't more schools have naloxone on hand, do you think?
Fear. The fears that drug users will camp out on the doorstep so that when they use opioids, school personnel will have to run out and save them with naloxone. There's the fear of danger after administration. People are going to come up swinging and you're going to be in danger.
Narcan, English, Spanish.
A growing number of school districts are trying to fight naloxone stigma head on. In Montgomery County, Maryland, students and parents lined up on a recent Saturday to get free doses.
It's very similar if you've ever used a nasal spray.
And to learn how to administer the potentially life-saving drug.
All right, and now press the red button. Perfect.
It's just important to educate and be aware of what's going on in your community. She's going to high school next year. I know that she's going to be exposed to a lot more.
If you see someone and they're like, oh, here's an Adderall pill, no, it may not just be Adderall.
It's a conversation being had across the country at a PTA meeting in Arlington, Virginia.
As a medical professional, I think it's really important that if we're teaching our kids how to put condoms on bananas, that we can teach them how to put Narcan up somebody's nose.
To Los Angeles, where after 15-year-old Melanie Ramos was found dead in a school bathroom from an apparent fentanyl overdose, the nation's second-largest school district is putting naloxone in every K-12 school.
It's not the answer to all, but it's definitely going to help.
It could save a life.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And our thanks to Devin Dwyer for bringing us that very important story.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.